Welcome, everybody, to the Orion Drift VRML Season 1, Week 1. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. I am joined by my co-caster, Jucifer, as we get ready for Savior X versus TCO, the chosen ones. How are you feeling today? We've had some great games so far today, this afternoon, and I'm looking forward to this series starting soon. I don't know if they actually started or maybe they started for real. I don't know if we're actually started here. I don't think so. I haven't told them to start, but I think we're starting. In round one, they've kicked it off. Sometimes you don't need to give the go-ahead for the go-ahead to be given, as we do dive into it. Savior X versus TCO. TCO on the purple side as we swap the teams. Savior X on the blue, and Savior with Sai pushing forward here, dodging around one, looking for that shot on goal and getting denied. Weston VR, unfortunately, disconnected. May lead to a power play, so to speak, for the likes of Savior X, but for now, they push forward as they cross past as Axie connects. Looking for a shot on goal. Little Curry home alone, and that's going to be the first point on the board for Savior X in round one.
Good passing coming in from Savior and able to finish it off. Here comes Hope with it now, bringing it up, going up, gonna shoot towards the middle. Ball gets popped free. It's gonna be a fight in the neutral zone. Zaxil gonna reset it back. Now he's looking to turn that ball around. Hope's giving good pressure there, able to get that ball. Now looking to set it up in that offensive zone, gonna pass it across, finds a streaking player, but it goes back over to Savior. Now Zaxil going up top over that nest, little hand, ha-cha-cha, going over that halo to that offensive halo, working it in, has passers. Goes across, just out of the fingertips of Sai. Now it goes back into the goal. They're gonna pick that up, and Little Curry's gonna come away with that.
Yeah, moving forward on the chosen one side, trying to get a little offensive pressure here, down 1-0 early in round one, hoping to tack on a few more here. As Hope gets a nice pass up to the top, tries to take that shot down low, and it gets intercepted nicely by Zaxil. They're going to pass it, wonderful pass down to Brandon, scoops it up and tries to work forward here. An open goal, no, there's one home. Little Curry's there. The rest are tackling around the ball holder, and a nice denial from the trio there. Good tackle work at the end of the day there, Jucifer, that lead to now just time ticking down for the Chosen's one with 2:50 on the clock.
Hope bringing it into that offensive zone, gonna lob it up for Little Curry, but it's a little high. Coming up with it is Sai, trying to get it out. Now we got Owner flipping it back in, and Klopp's trying to get it out. They're fighting for it. Now Klopp's takes to the sky, has a little bit of separation. Gonna bring that ball, gonna swat it ahead to Sai. Sai now has a player on his left and his right. He's gonna streak right up the middle, coming in on Hope, and hits the juke move. And just like that, Savior goes up 2-0.
Really nice early lead here, but it is early. 2:15 on the clock for this TCO squad to work with. Curry going to scoop up that ball and try and work forward here for some pressure. The initial offensive rollout, that pass hits the halo, goes back to Little, who scoops it up, looking for that ceiling carve over into the corner. A little bit of a fumble there, as Klops is going to scoop it up. Try and get their offensive going again. It's been Savior X up 2-0 so far, and really any more points are bonus at this point. They've got themselves a comfortable lead with 1:45 left. That's a good cross pass that's denied.
We got a battle for it in the sewer. Now turning it around is Sai, but picking that up is Hope. Klops now has it. Oh, he lost it for a sec. He's just gonna swat that ahead. It's gonna roll out. Little Curry's back there to pick it up. He's gonna try to turn around. Oh, almost gets stolen, but Hope saving the day. Now Klops has it, but Hope again gets that ball over to the sidewalk. Ooh, coming in fast is Zaxil. It's up for grabs. Little Curry's gonna pick that up, coming in from the halo. Oh, and it gets stolen there by Brandon. Good defense in the center neutral zone. Now Zaxil with Klops on his back. Gonna go for a ride on that halo. Jumps over to that offensive side. Now Klops goes take out Hope. And Zaxil coming in from that corner, throws it up to Sai. Sai's coming down, and it's a great save. Klops picks up the rebound. Looking to set it up, looking for a pass option. Goes back to Brandon. Brandon goes across over to Sai. Sai turns the corner. Zaxil stops. Sai still has it. And another Little Curry, but that's Sai putting that in finally. Savior on non-stop pressure goes up 3-0.
Yeah, and that's probably the nail in the coffin for this series. Up 3-0 with 30 seconds left on the clock. Nothing the Chosen Ones can do to win this first round, so it is just early in the best of 5, right? But you do want to put a point or two on the board. You want to show that you can challenge the likes of this defense. And this is a nice pass sequence coming in from TCO, but ultimately gets denied by a better defensive dive. Disrupts that sequence, and now is back into the hands of Savior X. That's going to be a full court shot that really is the nail in the coffin. 4-0 does it for them, and they're going to try and keep the ball elevated. As you see, Hope Ghost holding it above the ground. They want another chance at 1 point on the board. They don't want to go down round 1 without getting at least 1, as Little Curry does a good job juking through the sewers, but ends up passing it to Sai. Sai gets a hold of it, and it hits the ground for round 1 ending, and Savior X taking an early lead in the series.
You know, even though Chosen Ones there were down in that one, it was tight. Like, they weren't that far off. I think that, you know, just that constant pressure, you can only save so many times before that ball's probably going to bounce past you. So best to get it out and play with it on the other end. We'll see if they can make some adjustments and what will happen in the round number 2.
We saw Little Curry in particular really doing a great job on that defensive end, a big denial on that replay. I think they had several shots on goal. They were close to putting some points up on the board for their squad. At the end of the day, though, it is a dominant lead in the first round, 3-0 here, as we do got to reset our scores. Hopefully we'll be able to still track that first round. We might not. Anyway, round 2 kicks off here now with a early lead into the hands of Savior X. And Klopp's now taking control, early control for Savior X as well.
Klopp's going side to side, trying to cause a ruckus here, trying to get it out. Hope's pressuring him. Now he flips it up, gets it over to Zaxel. Zaxel's going to come down, go through the sewer, going to go wide with it. Oh, loses it, has to circle back. Now going to reset, maybe get some of that boost juice. And does get that boost juice, in fact, and going to go up. Oh, it gets poked out. Here we go. We got Owner on the prowl, but Zaxel. Oh, no, Owner again gets it. It's loose in front of the goal. Oh, they're able to swap that out. Good defense there coming in from Savior, saving their bacon. Hope's going to swap that across, looking for somebody. But Zaxel coming out of that goal. He's going to take to the sky. Now they're going to look to set it up, goal the other way. He's bouncing up. He's going to swat it over to Brandon, who's streaking in from that far side sidewalk. Brandon's coming in hot. Turns to the goal, and that's a good swat coming in from Hope. But picking that up is Sai. Sai working it into the middle. Ball's going to be loose, and Little Curry now, he's going to get that clear down to the other side.
Yeah, and the scramble to get control, waving to the camera. They're hyped to be on cast, but maybe you shouldn't be waving. You should be scrambling back to defend as TCO find their first point in the series, up 1-0 here with a nice lock-in goal.
That was Hope there with that goal coming in, making him pay. Now Zaxel finds himself down 1 goal. Trying to even that up here. Brandon has it. It's going to bounce up. Owner's just going to swap that out of the zone. Oh, no, it bounces off the corner. And picking it up is Zaxel. Zaxel passes it out, throws it at the goal, and ties it up. Maybe a little too much pressure on that one. Left the goal open.
Yeah, and a very quick answer back, too. You know, you talk about getting a little bit of a lead going. You talk about getting a little momentum going. It can be tough when, uh-oh, what happened here? They didn't get the ball on their rollout. Nobody picked it up. And Sai just kind of dances forward and says, I guess I'll take it. Puts the ball on the goal. It's a 2-1 lead in round 2.
All right, now Little Curry making sure that he grabs the ball. He's going to the sky. He's going to hit that little bit of a ceiling card. He's going to pass it across over to Hope. Hope back to Little Curry. He shoots and puts it in the top pocket. Tied back up at 2. Quick strikes, getting it even.
That was a wonderful little play there. Little Curry. A little play for Little Curry scoring that one. A nice pass back to them. I mean, really a good setup, too, on the assist. Wonderful job by the likes of the Chosen Ones as they are battling back against Savior X in round 2. Can they fend off the round 3 series decider is the question. Are we going to be guaranteed 4 rounds? If Chosen Ones can score a point more lock in a lead and take this second round, then we're guaranteed 4 rounds this afternoon. But if Savior X have anything to say about it, they'll find a second point here, a third point, making it a 1-point lead with 1:40.
There with some individual effort there. They owe him a cheeseburger or something after the match for that one. But Hope's going to bring that up on the sidewalk, looking to work that in the middle. Has Owner up top, keeps it though. Hope goes up top, looking for that goal, and Brandon comes in and gets a hand on it. Now we got Cy, take it to the sky. He's gonna Kobe it down to the other side. It's rolling, could it go? It does, coast to coast. Cy with the 67.3 meter bomb.
Wow, that is huge. Puts the team in a comfortable lead round 2. And like I said, maybe we're not going to round 4 here, because round 3 could be the series decider for the likes of Savior X if they put any more on the board. This is a good move from Curry, though, as they get down underneath the defense. For a moment, they had an opportunity to push forward, but now it's back into the hands of this Savior X team, who's in the lead 2 points. That's a good intercept from Hope, goes down to the corner. Looking to now put pressure up on the point. 42 seconds left. They need this goal fast. Hope goes, dives in, and that one's denied. A good save coming in from the defense. Quickly scooped up by Little Curry. They're going to keep the pressure on for the Chosen Ones, but they got to fire this ball in for another quick point because, again, the clock is ticking down. Juiceford.
Little Curry still playing with that ball, trying to find that opening. Gets it up to Hope. Hope can't quite get that connection on the ball. The ball's popped up. And it's going to be loose there, just killing some time. And throws it towards the goal, and just like that, they do get one. There's a little bit of hope from Little Curry. Only down 1. They're going to have to hot potato this here. Zaxel, though, has it. If he was smart, he would just spike that off the ground and end it. But here we go. Hope has it. Hope bringing it in. Hope looking.
No way.
Damn, and we're going to Old Key. Never say never.
What?
Not with
what
the hot potato
happened?
rules.
What happened? Oh my goodness. No spikes allowed when it comes down to the final moments. You got to play through the best of your ability, and that playthrough leads to a goal. That leads to us now in overtime, as Xavier X look for a point on the board to lock in this round. First to score takes round 2. Maybe I was too early to speak on us not having a round 4. Who knows what is going to happen here as Love OD finally dives down to defend, dumps off the halo. Little Curry scoops up the ball. Maybe a chance for the Chosen Ones to get some offensive pressure going here.
Little Curry, he's going to toss it up over to Hope, but it bounces off, unfortunately. Sai's going to pick it up and lob it down. They have Brandon streaking down there. Maybe he can get the rebound here. He's coming in hot. Oh, good defense there from Little Curry. Able to keep that ball out, but Zaxel has it, throws it back. Here comes Sai, and Sai will put the nail in the coffin. Woo! We hit overtime. That was pretty epic.
No kidding. I think the first OT for VRML broadcast for me. But a solid win from Savior X. And I don't know if intentional or not, but no time in between round 2 and round number 3 now. We'll still give the win thing there for Savior X because they deserve to see it for their second round. But we do go very quickly into round number 3. And almost quickly, yes, into a first goal. Savior X put one in before the even 20 seconds tick down in round number 1. And it's 1-0 here out the gate for this team that's dominating the series. Taking it to series point here. If they can lock this in for the next 5 minutes, they've got themselves a victory for their first week.
That was 2 quick goals in the last 2 rounds. I'm not sure if they're used to that extended little break in between in the VRML servers, but they're playing through it. They're battling. That ball's loose. Little Curry's going to try to pick it up. Hope's going to come away with it. Hope now working it in. Going to pass it over to Little Curry. Little Curry paddling away. Ooh, goes back the other way. Hard to keep up with on that camera. He's going to throw it across. That's good defense coming in from Brandon and friends. Now we got Owner up top. Going to swap that around the bend. And picking that up is going to be Zaxel. Zaxel throws it over to his homie Sai. Sai playing with it in front of the goal. Dangerous tactics.
Yeah.
But they're able to get that out. It's on that top shelf. And just try to set it up. No, can't get past Owner. Now they do. They swat it into the mound area. Brandon, he's going to reset back. Maybe pick up some boosts. Maybe they're just trying to kill some time here. Brandon going up to that halo. Bouncing across. And gonna hit it across over to Zaxel. Zaxel, aerial, he's coming in right at that goal. And little Curry with a huge save. He's gonna get that swatted up, but Brandon picks it up, trying to come down with it. Gets control now, working it on the nest. Coming in, flips it over to Zaxel. Zaxel throws it across to Sai, who picks that far side pocket. 2-0, Savior leads.
Yeah, really nice job from this Savior squad, doing a spectacular job of keeping the pressure on. Even after huge saves from Little Curry, they're still there, pushing forward, still there, finding the rebounds, taking shots on goal, and eventually you find a hole in the wall there and can end up putting a point on the board. 2-0 isn't too bad though, as Hope tries to find that shot down off the bottom floor, trying to bounce it in for a goal, but that doesn't go in, and instead into the hands of Savior X. Again, up 2-0. If they put a third one on the board with 2.5 minutes left, it might be, I don't know, the end of any momentum that this Chosen One squad can hope to get. That's a good pass to Zaxel. Zaxel says, anyone around me? Do I have to take this in? No, I'm going to toss it back. Back and forth they go to a cross pass here and there, and finally off the corner, they follow it up in for a goal.
That was 3 on Little Curry, and unfortunately, Little Curry can only do so much. That ball finally rolled in. All right, Little Curry now finds himself in a big hole. Works it, hits a nice little ceiling carve to get away. Now he's working it into the middle, goes up top. He passes that across to Hope. Hope turns and fires, and that's Sai. He's going to Kobe that down. It has a chance. Will he get another one? No, it's a little high. It's bouncing back. Here comes Zaxel. Gets that rebound and stuffs it home. That'll be 4-0 for Savior X.
Round 3 not looking good for TCO here. It's do or die for them in this series. It's best of 5, and they've lost the first 2 maps, first 2 rounds. Maps is an old habit from other VRML games, which will be starting soon. Other seasons do begin. If you are interested in playing competitively in other VR esports, we do have them on the VRML and live here on the VRML network, so do be sure to tune in. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to become a member, please do. You get exclusive membership bonuses if you do sign up. We'll talk about those more afterwards. There's a nice push forward here coming through from Savior X, looking for more points. Doesn't end up connecting, and instead, TCO, the Chosen Ones, looking to lock in their first point of the round. It doesn't really matter at this point. With a minute left, I literally don't think, even if they scored 4 points in a row, that with 15-second timers in between, they'd be able to score enough. I just think the mathematical time here is doomed them, essentially. But I love to see that they still got to play it out, and I love to see these teams still playing it out. At the end of the day, you do want to lose by as little as possible. And so putting points on the board does hold some value, so might as well try and get something up there. Is again down 4-0 and just a point away from losing this series. There's one more game after this one. If you are curious, you can go to the VRML Network live stream page. You'll see the other event page up for later tonight, just in about 5 minutes time. So we'll almost be immediately going into our last game of the night. You're not going to want to miss it. It'll be live here on the VRML Network, so do be sure to subscribe so you can catch it. And we appreciate you. Zaxel here in the final seconds looks for a goal from their team, pushes forward, and it's denied by Little Curry. Keeps it elevated. They got to keep it off the ground to the best of their ability. As a nice bit of juking comes in here. Hope goes, ends up letting it touch the ground, and that's going to be the end of the series. Savior locking it in. The third round goes to them, and the series finished. Savior X coming out strong today, Jucifer. Definitely a solid performance from him.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I don't think that the Chosen Ones are that far off there, especially with that solid backline boss, Little Curry, holding him down. If you could just build off that, they had some good passing too with Little Curry and Hope. So hopefully all these guys can keep together, keep grinding. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but it's about going to battle with your homies in VRML action. It's awesome. Love it.
We do love it. We are going to take a quick break here on the VRML Network, a few moments as we do prepare for our final game of the day, and then we'll jump into one more for the afternoon. We appreciate everyone stopping by and patiently waiting for the start of this one. And more action coming at you, so stick around on the VRML Network.
Orion Drift VRML is brought to you by Another Axiom, Helga, the esports manager. Thanks for watching VRML.